I had to choose between, do I want to study or do I want to play ball? Because the school system in France is very, very heavy in terms of homework, in terms of hours, because you go to school from 9 to 5 most of the time. And club teams, they want you to practice. Obviously, their main goal is for them to win games and potentially have their players get to the next level. So they don't really care about the school aspect of your life. And the teachers and everything, they don't really care about sports at all. I mean, sport back then and still now was mostly used for, listen, you do sport in order not to do something else. Like, you're not going to go drink, party, smoke, do weed, drugs, or whatever. So they kind of tell you, do sports instead of just sitting down your building at night, which is dumb, because at the end of the day, sport is a passion. It's something that you should be able to use in order to do something with your life. And that's what I chose to do. I was like, I'm not going to quit studies for basketball. I'm not going to quit basketball for my academics. I'm going to try to do both. And I was lucky enough to, I played with two guys, Armand and Dan. Dan was Haitian, but he lived and was born and raised in the States. Armand is from Texas in the States too, and they were my teammates. And they told me, Xavier, we believe that maybe actually you could go to the US, try to do a few tryouts or whatever, because it wasn't like, it's not 2020. We didn't have all the YouTube and like social medias and ways to send like videos. Actually, I did send some DivX to these teams, probably like 50 junior colleges in the States. And I have answered. I got answered by mail from these teams telling me that I was able to do tryouts and everything. So I went on, I talked to my guys, my two American friends, and I told them about it. They helped me actually work on my bio and everything, and send a recommendation letter, motivation letter and everything to these coaches. And I went there for 2 months between April and June 2004 to try to go and find a school that was ready to offer me a scholarship, because obviously I didn't have no kind of money. I mean, I worked, I went to school that year after my high school diploma. I went to school in what we call alternance. So basically you do 2 weeks of you do your job, you work for a company or whatever, and then 2 weeks you go to school and you keep on doing that. So that way I was able to make a little bit of money. I was making money on the side, doing a few things, coaching and everything. And I had enough money to go to the US, pay for my plane ticket, and go for 2 months and do tryouts. I used the Greyhound bus. It was an amazing experience. I didn't know that actually what you were actually able to watch on movies was true. I mean, at one point, I got seated. So I went from, it was that trip when I came back from Seminole State College, in right next to Oklahoma City. I didn't get picked up by that team at that time. The coach told me that he didn't need me, and he picked, I think, another European kid who was like a big man, probably like 7'2" or something like that. And obviously I'm not 7'2", and that's not what he was looking for. But anyway, I went from Oklahoma City with the Greyhound down to Texas, and the guy right next to me was carrying a big old bag, black bag, the whole time. He was like kind of like, I don't know, it was like he was his girl. He didn't want to leave it like for no reason. Every time we were stepping out of the bus to like take a piece or whatever, the guy was going with it. Now, one point, I don't know, he messed up, and I guess a part of the bag got open, and the whole bus was just smelling weed like crazy. The whole thing was weed. I never seen that much weed in my life. And I was like, whoa, what are you doing? No, that's crazy. And I was sitting there and I got scared. I was like, hey, I don't want to be in the middle of all these things and everything. So I went like to sit my butt at another place. But that's the type of stories that I saw. I saw a lot of things. It was funny. It was funny. It was by myself. It was sometimes kind of a little bit, it was a little scary, because, you know, when you're from Paris and you're from like not the best areas of Paris, you think like you're all that. You think you're a gangster. And you go to the US and you realize that these guys are not playing at all. I mean, it's funny because I think people here are even more aggressive than people in some hoods in the States. It's just that people in the States don't care. Like, they will actually shoot you, like, really. Like for us, just to get a gun, it's tough. you know, them, I mean, they have it. I mean, I had at one point. So anyway, first year I went to New Mexico. At the end, I got out of the 5 trials that I've done, 3 went well, and I chose the one that no one understood why I chose that. I went to NEMI. NEMI is New Mexico Military Institute. I'm not a military guy at all. My dad didn't raise me with that mentality at all. Like he hates it. Like he's completely against it. He lived it and didn't like it, and he wanted to be the guy who was like, like kind of telling the big officers and everything, fuck out. Like I'm not gonna do what I want to do, and I guess it didn't work for him. I don't know. But anyway, I went there because I thought it will help me with my education. It will help me do better in life and understand that sometimes you do have rules and you do have to run with it and deal with it. Went there. It was a great, and I also picked that school because I felt like it was the best basketball conference and the best education. Because NEMI is still right now a great school. I sent a couple of kids there, actually, and it's still a great academic school. And I wanted to have good grades and be able to use these grades in order to do good in life. That wasn't my main goal. To me, again, basketball helped me go from Argenteuil to Lorient, from Lorient to the States, from the States to Italy, from Italy to Spain, and it's all because of basketball. And it helped me and my wife and my 2 kids and my family in general. Because right now in Spain, I brought my grandma, my mom, my grandma, and my wife's parents are with us too. And everything is because of what I do with Coach X basketball. So even if I'm not playing, basketball always been around and always helped me.